you. Fascinating evidence, so thank you all very much. Professor Santini, you talked about knowing what you're doing in regards to phages, and I just wondered, sometimes I feel that other countries are way ahead than we are in the UK. So I just wondered how well developed we are here compared to other countries in understanding what we're doing around phages.
So I'm going to start with a positive and tell you that we could be world leaders, of course, with the right things put in place. I think we can certainly learn from other countries in terms of the regulations are more stringent here, but I'm sure you're going to talk about that at some point, and much stricter, and actually was not that clear with respect to phages. So there's the issue there. The other issue is that places, I think we can learn from places that have been using phages and checking their use, so monitoring what happens to the patient over time. So there are places in Belgium is one place that's doing this really nicely, and actually providing phages for the UK. I think Josh Jones is going to talk about that. Australia has recently put out a very good protocol for how to use phages. This is on compassionate access grounds, okay? So obviously Eastern Europe have been using phages for ages, so there's a lot to be learnt there. And the US now have quite a few clinical trials that the FDA have funded using phages. And Europe as well, there's some clinical trials in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, I think I totally agree with what Joe said. We have a lot of expertise, however, in the UK. We have a very strong culture and history of microbiology expertise, and we have it's internationally accepted that we have arguably more phage expertise in the UK than in other countries. But what we have is little pockets, it's quite fragmented. We need to be much more coordinated with our response to maintain that position. Other countries are investing a lot more in this technology than we are, so we need to join up and capitalise on what we have got. But we are actually good at that aspect. We're also good at translating things. We have quite close connections with our clinical colleagues. So at Leicester, many universities have close connections with their local hospitals. So we have the ability to be able to move those forwards. Now we have a lot more clinical interest to drive projects. So that's why we need, I think, the policy support, the regulatory framework, and those aspects to join it up together, and to have also, I think we need a coordinated institute, a national research phage institute there, where we can have our banks of phages stored, we can have standard protocols, and we can have just banks of phages that people can access when they want to start their own projects. But actually we are in a good position to be able to capitalise on what we have at the moment to turn this into a reality.
Can I just sorry, like a national phage library, effectively?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, you could do the whole thing. I mean, it's so
Just one thing, manufacturing is a problem.
Okay.
So it's that. So it's one case to manufacture for a compassionate access case, very personalised medicine. But when we're talking about clinical trials, we do not have GMP facilities, which is good manufacturing practice facilities, which is a requirement from the MHRA for large-scale production of phages for, say, clinical trials. So I think infrastructure with respect to manufacturing would be, and together with the regulation, I think would really help us move forward.
I mean, we do have the potential for GMP production. It's just that because there isn't a market, people don't invest.
Yeah, as you say, it's a chicken and an egg scenario. And is there information sort of transfer between, or is it just done by scientist to scientist kind of thing? Do you have your close comrades that you talk to?
Yeah, it's a very open and collegial community across the world. I mean, I saw that was interesting, the evidence that was submitted. You saw there was evidence submitted from our Australian colleagues, French, Belgian, and the community, and is very well. You know, we're aware of the urgent need for this technology, and historically, it seems to be a open, warm community with the different elements.
Yeah. Thank you. You said that it's impossible to patent phage.
Natural. So natural phages
right.
aren't patentable because anyone can isolate them.
Right.
So
So
you'd
does
have to, you could just tweak them.
I hear you. So does that mean that it's big pharma will be more reluctant to invest because they won't make a lot of money because it's impossible?
So I've been speaking to GSK, and they're reluctant. So that they're interested in engineered phages and use of phage enzymes. And other companies, I would say, are looking to either engineer them or use their enzymes again. I'm sure that there are some companies, it depends on what you're using it for, so I'm talking about as a therapy.
Yeah. And my other quick question is, so I mean, we often talk about maybe we need to change the relationship between medicines and profit kind of thing, so that we start focusing on the patient rather than profit from big pharma, and then there'll be more money there to invest in research and things like phages. Is there another route to investment through the health industry, or dare I say the diet industry? I whisper that bit. But is there a route to investment through there at all?
Yeah, I think there is. I think there's a definite room for other models rather than the strictly pharmaceutical industry model. We can certainly learn from that. We need that expertise, but there could easily be another method, whether it's a sort of social enterprise type of method, where the phages are collated and used, and companies have a subscription model like the Next model, a little bit like the government's incentive for being able to produce a drug and delinking that from the amount of drug that's sold, so that there could easily be models like that could be implemented across the entire NHS.
Great, thank you.